basically built an entire outdoor world from clay. And I don't mean a few small statues. There are giant animals, strange faces, tunnels, old buildings, famous places from Dalat, and huge sculptures everywhere you look. This place is called the Clay Tunnel, and honestly, at first I had no idea what this was supposed to be. Is it a theme park? Is it an art project? Is it a strange version of Dalat's history? Or is just one of the weirdest attractions in Vietnam? Because the more you walk inside, the more random it gets. One moment you look at the giant clay animal, the next you're standing in front of buildings, symbols, and scenes that are supposed to tell you the story of this mountain city. So in this video, I'm going to walk through the whole place and try to figure out what they actually built here, because this is definitely not a normal park. This place looks strange from the first second. Dragons, giant figures, old houses, symbols, animals, all carved from the red earth. But this is not just a fantasy park. This is Dalat's story rebuilt from clay. The place is called the Clay Tunnel or Sculpture Tunnel, and it sits in the hills near Tuyen Lam Lake, just outside Dalat. The project was started around 2010 by Tin Badung, who wanted to create something very different and open-air timeline of the city. Not a museum behind glass, a walkable version of Dalat history. And the material is the key. These sculptures are made from the red basalt soil of Vietnam Central Highlands, the same volcanic earth that shape this region: farms, coffees, plantations, forest, and mountain landscape. So this is not just a sculpture park. It is Dalat history told through the land itself. And from here, the clay world only gets stranger. And here, the tunnel starts showing one of Dalat's most important identities: agriculture. The Central Highlands are one of Vietnam's great coffee region, and coffee became a huge part of the landscape, the economy, and everyday life here. And next to all of this, you still see the other side of Dalat history: French colonial style buildings, a reminder of how the city was developed as a mountain retreat in the early 20th century. But Dalat is not only about coffee. Because of its cool mountain climate, the city also became famous for vegetables, flowers, greenhouses, and farms, things that would be much harder to grow in Vietnam's hotter lowlands. So in just a few meters, the clay tunnels show 3 layers of Dalat: coffee, French colonial, and farming. Maybe this stage is remind me the three wise monkey: see no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. As you see, they covering their ears, eyes, and mouth. So yeah, maybe this is this one. And this is some important one, I think. Now the city, now this tunnel moves away from the city into the nature, and reminds us it used to live here elephants, a lot of turtles, reptiles. There's more animal and nature, but now it's like farms and a retreat place, colonial buildings. So the landscape was changed during this maybe the last 100 years. And now look at this, the tunnel is shifting again. You see old vehicles, fragments of architecture. Maybe this also the French colonial part of this tunnel. And and I don't know, look at this strange beard figure. Looks like a king or something, but maybe it's also a part of this fantasy world. And here this section show Dalat's cultural identity. I think this bearded figure is likely Alexander Yersin, the Swiss-French explorer who reached the Lang Biang Plateau in 1893, a key moment in the story of modern Dalat. And then this piano, saxophone books, it is Dalat as people remember it. Not only a mountain city, but a city of cafes. And here, look at that book, How to Understand Woman, chapter 99. It's very nice. Yeah, and this is it. You see, after this train, we meet Than Rung, the forest god. In Vietnamese language is literally say Than is a god, and Rung is mean forest. So this figure represents the older spiritual world of the highlands, where forest, mountains, water, and animals were often seen as this sacred, protected by unseen spirits. And here, this is the Infinity Lake. Actually, this is one of the most famous photo spots in the clay tunnel and in Dalat. The two giant faces are inspired by Klang and Hibiang, if I'm saying it correctly. If not, I'm sorry. Legendary figures from the local highland folklore, standing in the middle of the lake, designed to look like it flows endlessly into the mountains. here, look, here is it. I think it's Cupido in the lake, so I think I will go there and let him to shut me, because in the in the last few years he will stay away from me, it looks like. So now I let him to shut me, and maybe, I don't know, you know. And this is the last section. Is a little bit strange for me, and surprised me. Look at this, like a time schedule. It's keep the distance, disinfection, vaccinate. I don't know. It's a mask. There is everything here. This is dedicated to COVID-19, but not in a calm or clinical way. Instead, it turns the pandemic into visual commentary. In order are mixed with handcuffs, oversized hygiene, boxing gloves, and distorted figures. The message feels clear. This was not only a medical crisis. For me and for everybody on the planet, I think, it was also a period of fear, pressure, restriction, and deep social tension. What we never experienced before, no one does. And that make this final section feels less like history and more like a public memory of what those years left like and felt like. So that was Dalat Clay Tunnel. I don't know what to think, what to say. It's a part of history, a part of fantasy, and a part of social commentary. But it was definitely one of the strangest places I've ever seen in my life. But for sure in Vietnam. Maybe the crazy house was a little bit similar. But I actually like it because it tries to tell the story of the city in the completely different way, like other place you see or in the museum.